So this Diddy case has really gone off the rails since the last time we talked about it. There's all of these crazy rumors and accusations floating around online. Some people are saying that the thousands of bottles of baby oil were filled with liquid ecstasy. And since the last time we talked about this story, literally, I kid you not, over 10,000 victims have stepped forward. Over 10,000. And I'm not saying, 10,001. No, we're looking at like 15,000 victims have come forward within the last couple of weeks since the last time we talked about this story. And now, over the past couple of days, there's been some leaks, alleged leaks of Diddy's phone calls from jail. Phone calls between Diddy and his son. And when you listen to the audio, it's obvious that they're speaking in codes. It's kind of like Pizzagate codes. Because Diddy, or the person who they're claiming is Diddy, he repeatedly refers to cleaning up pizza boxes and things of that nature. Some pretty wild stuff. But what I want to do here is I want you all to listen to the audio, but I want you all to be sure to stay tuned till the end of this video, because I got something even crazier to tell you after we listen to this alleged leak phone call from jail. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a listen, and then I'll be right back with more.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
The what?
All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes.
Okay.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Yeah.
Did Jay reach out yet?
Nah, Pop. He ghosting.
What the f is this motherfucker doing? These things sweet now because I'm in here.
It's all good. You about to get out on bail.
No, hey yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie.
Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now.
Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa. Pizza boxes, clean. Whoa, wait. That's crazy. They were obviously speaking in some sort of code. And if you pay attention, you kind of know what these code words mean, right? I can't get into it on YouTube. But the craziest part about this leaked audio, and I mean this is crazy. Go ahead and get ready, folks. Buckle in, get ready. A lot of you might not even want to accept this. The craziest part about these leaked phone calls is they're very obviously fake. Like, it's not hard to tell that they're fake. Yet they're being spread around the internet by content creators who also know that this audio is fake. But hey, it's good for clicks. It's good for views. Now, it might not be good for clicks or views on my channel, because my subscribers don't seem to give a damn about Diddy or this case at all. However, this is a case that I'm interested in, because I've known about Diddy and the stuff that he was doing for a very long time. It was never a secret. This is a story that I do actually take interest in. And I don't take interest in every story that I cover, but this one I am interested in. However, I've backed away from really talking about it or covering it too much, because there's an obvious okie doke going on here, if you ask me. Like, in my opinion, and I need your help here. In my opinion, there seems to be either an obvious effort to muddy the waters by having all of these people come forward, all of these wild claims. Either there's an effort and they're using this to work in Diddy's favor, or B, there's just a bunch of greedy people out there that see, people are getting payouts from Diddy. I want to throw my name in the jar. I want a little bit of that money or a little bit of that clout. I don't know what it is. Either there's an effort on Diddy's behalf and the people who want to see Diddy free again to muddy the waters with all of these crazy accusations to just make the whole case seem outlandish, or there's just a bunch of greedy people who are trying to cling to this story. One of the two, maybe even both. Because listen, folks, I want to be clear, and I've been clear since day one. I do think Diddy is guilty of a lot of things. I do think Diddy was having these weird freak-offs and stuff like that. I would never tell you otherwise. However, I believe that most of Diddy's real victims are not going to come forward telling their stories on TV. I believe that most of Diddy's real victims probably have not said anything. Most of them are probably scared for their lives. Meanwhile, you got clout chasers out here trying to pretend everyone wants to be a victim of Diddy now. I mean, remember this woman right here that was all on the news crying and everyone spreaded her story around and pretended to believe her? Well, guess what? They already caught her lying. They already caught and found out that that was a giant scam that she was working on with her boyfriend to get money out of Diddy. And there's been other accusers that have been silently dismissed since this case broke out as well. So, listen, I know that Diddy was allowed to do what Diddy does for a very long time. And yeah, you may have decades worth of victims here and there. But they opened up a hotline and 12,000 people called in one day claiming to be victims of Diddy. That's overkill, folks. That's overkill. And what I'm worried about here is that all of this stuff is going to work in Diddy's favor. Because by the time we get to trial, all of us will be somehow victims of Diddy. There's people watching this video right now that will up and pretend to be victims of Diddy. By the time the trial comes, we're going to have 500,000 accusers. And that just makes things look outlandish. It makes people seem less believable, even if they're telling the truth. And that's something that I'm worried about here. But the majority of people covering the story, they're not worried about that. They're worried about the short term. What's going to get clicks? What's going to get views? What sounds most fascinating? After ignoring the problems in Hollywood that people like me have been calling out for years, now all of a sudden, these people are interested in the sexual lives of these stars. When people like me, people like you all watching these videos, we've been telling people for years that Hollywood was doing wicked stuff behind the scenes, weird sexual stuff, right? We've been telling people about these parties and how things work behind the scenes for years, about these secret groups and the weird stuff they do. We were called conspiracy theorists. But now the same people who call us conspiracy theorists, they're attaching themselves to this story, spreading obvious fake and misinformation for clicks and views because it's entertaining. So quickly, this case has turned into a complete madhouse. I don't know what other way to put it. Because I firmly believe that 99% of the people who are coming forward aren't real victims. In fact, a lot of the people who can even say they're real victims and were really at the parties, they're not victims at all. They're willing participants. They're willing participants in all of this. They were perfectly fine doing what they were doing at Diddy's parties until it became popular to throw Diddy under the bus and claim to be a victim. Okay? And that's not me victim blaming, because I do fully believe that there are real people who were victimized by Diddy. But I don't think every woman that comes forward who was at his party, or every man that comes forward who was at his party, sleeping around doing God knows what, you're not a victim just because you were there and as an adult you chose to partake in these orgies and this, filth. That's on you. Don't feel guilty now. You were perfectly fine partying with Diddy for years until all of this came to the light. Now you want to be a victim. Because you see, no one wants to be viewed as an accomplice. No one wants to be viewed as someone who was having a good time right alongside Diddy. And these people know, hey, our faces are in some of these pictures. Our faces are on some of these tapes. Our names could come up in this. So let's go ahead. Let's get ahead of this. Let's pretend to be victims when in reality we were out here recruiting women and men to come to these parties. we were out here actually doing more dirty work than Diddy himself. That's the case with a lot of these people. I can guarantee you that. Now, people are going to do what people are going to do, and I'm okay with that. But if you ask me personally, instead of wasting time spreading very obviously fake information and rumors for clicks and views, instead of wasting time giving attention to some of these accusers that are very obviously lying and are just trying to gain money and clout off of this case, instead of wasting time with all of that, we should be spending our time demanding real answers about what's going on. Because I'm tired of what we're seeing here in America and in the world right now with Diddy and with Schmepstein. If all of these accusations are true, and if this case is as serious as people are making it out to be, then name some names, make other arrests. Diddy wasn't having these wild parties and freak-offs by himself. Schmepstein wasn't supplying underage women and stuff to ghosts, right? There's real people involved in these cases. So what happens is, they want you to think that if Diddy goes down, justice is served. But it's the exact opposite. If Diddy goes to jail for the rest of his life, no, justice is not served at all. What happens here, what's going on here, is Diddy going to jail for the rest of his life. Diddy going down is to protect others. So justice isn't really served. They give you the false sense that justice is served. Oh, we're taking down Diddy. We're going to arrest Diddy. What about everyone else, though? So quickly you'll realize that this isn't about justice being served. Diddy isn't going to jail because of justice. Diddy is going to jail so they can use him as the fall man to protect other people from going to jail, to protect other people from being held accountable. That's the reality of this case. Justice will not be served. No matter what happens to Diddy, justice will not be served unless everyone else who helped Diddy, along with all of these famous and powerful people doing these weird things at these weird parties, justice isn't served unless they go down with Diddy. Because behind Diddy, there's more powerful people pulling the strings. But there's always a fall man. There's always the scapegoat. And that doesn't mean that Diddy's innocent. That doesn't mean that Diddy's a good person. No, it just means that, hey, there's people more powerful than Diddy that will easily, they'll give up Diddy or anyone else in a heartbeat to make sure that they remain behind the scenes, untouched. Nothing's going to happen to them. But there's some other things going on in this case that I want to discuss, and I'll discuss those in future videos. For now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.